I have 3 amazing kids, and it can be a bit complicated.
All right, you guys, you ready?
But there's nothing else like it in the world.
Bye, honey.
Traveling with kids is on another level.
Yay, let's go.
I appreciate all the extra help I can get when we fly.
Hi, how can I help?
I'm honored to get every passenger to their destination.
I'm so grateful that I've been able to fly with my 3 young kids.
At Frontier, we get it. We're flyers too, and we believe the sky is for everyone.
Welcome back into the Hive. We're just kind of getting ready to wrap up one, start another. We'll do a quick EOT post-game report here. Jesse, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll let you choose the Perham wrestler of the match, sponsored by J&L Nutrition in the backyard.
I'll give that to Jackson Vetch tonight. I thought he wrestled a good match, came out and hit some good moves, ended up on top and got a pin, and kind of a crucial moment for the Yellow Jackets tonight.
Right, and I'm going to go Willmar's side, thanks to J&L Nutrition in the backyard. As we go through, I'm going to go back to 127 pounds to Ivan Mars, and I think it was one of those I thought might be a toss-up, maybe even favor the Yellow Jackets, knowing what Adams could do. Crazy how he came out, and his body control and what he did was just outstanding. And so, again, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these guys wrestle again as we go through this. Just an exciting night. But, again, just a quick recap. It was too much Willmar Cardinals most of the night. And one of the things, Jesse, is I just can say I was super impressed with. They knew what they wanted to do. They executed it well. And every wrestler, I think, came out, and I don't think you can look at one that was, boy, they didn't wrestle well tonight.
Yeah, you could definitely tell when they walked on the mat tonight, every one of them had a plan. Whether that, kudos to their coaches for getting them ready to go. But they, even on the matches they lost, they came out with an idea of what they wanted to do. The Yellow Jackets got going, made it interesting, but it was too little too late for them at the end.
Yeah, and it was a good battle. One of those that you look to the Yellow Jackets, it's going to sharpen what you're doing. I think we're really close here to getting started. I see coaches coming up. Officials are ready to go, so we're not going to waste any time tonight. With this match, we're probably we're going to bring to you the match. We'll try to let you know what's going on. Our analysis might not be quite as in-depth to teams here that we're starting to learn. But we'll give you what we can. Both of us battling a cold, so we'll see how long we last as well, and I'm sure people can relate with that. So I think we're waiting for Willmar, kind of giving them some time. Again, Willmar with that last win, now 15-10 on the season. They're going to face Moorhead 10-10, and this is really a battle of 8-3A, and they might end up seeing themselves in the section tournament down the line.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about Section 8-3A, always a competitive section. And here we go right away with Trey Tallman for Willmar and Moorhead's Landon Reinke at 107 pounds.
I'll get my sheets all gathered together here, and bam, we're right off into the action here as Reinke wastes no time in on that takedown. Definitely back points, and again, you can hear something that you said all along, Jesse, lots of time. Take your time. There's a minute 30 remaining here. Official holding 3 points on the mat.
Yeah, this Reinke, just a 7th grader, it has written down here. Quite impressive 7th grader to come out and get that win right away.
That match was brought to you by Waterfront Recreational and Frontier Airlines. Landon Reinke now runs his record to 12-6. Going to 113. So Logan Fagerly coming out onto the mat for the Willmar Cardinals. And Dane Ellingsburg is a 10th grader, 28-9 state qualifier last year. And you can see the aggressiveness of Moorhead coming out. We thought Willmar was aggressive. Now we're seeing it step up on the Moorhead side.
Love to see aggressive wrestling. Just when we say that, Willmar's Fagerly making it kind of an interesting position here. Ellingsburg staying true to his leg ride. Popped his hip up off the mat. Very long length. He reached over and hooked that cradle up. And it looked tight for a minute. Referee holding 2 back points.
Near fall 2 brings it score 4-0 with 1 minute remaining in the first period. And man, as impressed as we were with Willmar, you've got a Moorhead Spuds seem like they're shot out of a cannon right now. Fagerly gets the escape on the release, 4-1. 45 seconds remain here, and right back in on the action.
Not wasting any time here. That Ellingsburg, multiple attacks here, just so long. He's able to hang into some of those positions just a little bit longer.
Filling up the score sheet right away in the first period. 20 seconds remain. 8-2 lead on our United Community Bank scoreboard. And this 114-pound match is brought to you commercial-free by Central Market in locations in Perham and Detroit Lakes and Great Clips. I think we're going to ride this one out to the end of the period here. 8-2 lead for Ellingsburg. 10th grader, 28-9 state qualifier last year. Fagerly to the down position. Nice wrist ride here, trying to roll that wrist out. It escapes. Minute 40 remaining. Second period. Still 8-2. Favor of Ellingsburg.
You could almost describe Ellingsburg ride as suffocating. You know, he's so long, he just drapes around you, and
boy,
no matter what,
you could see him baiting that in. Hey, turn into me, and almost had some back points there, and now still does not.
Fagerly doing a good job of just kind of riding the tide. Now he's got an opportunity to work his way out here. His coaches are yelling, get your one, get your escape. It may not seem like it, but Ellingsburg's still in control here if they were to call a stalemate.
Ellingsburg, great job back to his feet. Tough thing to do, trying to recapture control, and he does just that. Impressive by this young man.
All that for no points. 40 seconds left here in the second period. Ellenberg still working that wrist ride. You can see he's really controlling the hips with his own hips, getting out to the side so he doesn't get a stall call. 20 seconds remaining here.
I'd like to thank Frontier Airlines. Visit flyfrontier.com today to learn about the Go Wild Pass and Lock in one-way flights in and out of both Fargo and Minneapolis for as low as $15. A little tilt action coming back this way after no points awarded, so we'll go into period number 3, 8-2 in favor of Ellingsburg. Again, you talked about this ride. It's both squads this tonight, Jesse, and I think sometimes when you head towards especially when you hit that state tournament, I know the difference between even going sections to state you have to be able to ride out your opponent and just wear them down. And it's such a good skill, and here's an escape by Ellensburg.
Yeah, 1 point could be the difference in the entire match, and you see a lot of those good teams, a lot of those good wrestlers know exactly what they need to do to win, and sometimes 1 point's a difference. Ellensburg with a nice takedown again here. He's gone to 3 or 4 different attacks here. Definitely kept Fagerly kind of on his heels a little bit. He's going surfboard attempt out of that arm bar here.
50 seconds remain. 11-2, so major decision in check right now for Ellensburg. Again, he's trying to walk this over. 30 seconds remain. He does have time. Nice fight off here.
Wonder if he'll try to put his knees together and stack him the other way since he's pressuring so hard back.
Again, we get a stalemate. 17.9 seconds remain on your United Community Bank scoreboard, and it's always interesting to watch that and watch the wrestlers drag their arms after being in that position for a long time, and then just try to get everything back to feeling good again. We're down to 5 seconds remaining. It looks like we'll go in 11-2 for the victory, and a major decision is didn't stop through the whistle, and you gotta love that. Takes our United Community Bank scoreboard to 10-0 in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. We are going to head into the 121-pound matchup right now. So we have Wyatt Cruz, a 9th grader, 14-16 on the season for the Willmar Cardinals, and we have Michael Jenkins, a junior, 29-14, also a state qualifier. So again, you look at those usually really quality wrestlers travel in pairs, Jesse.
Yeah, you see it in the Willmar lineup too with kind of the run of Carlsons there. I think of our own squad with a couple pretty good wrestlers stacked up next to each other. It's usually the way of the road when you get good practice partners.
This 121-pound match is being brought to you commercial-free by New Horizons Realty and Dakota Fins and Feathers.
Kind of in an odd position there. Got a takedown and some back points for Jenkins. And he goes right to work on top.
And got himself out of harm's way. Could have been a dangerous situation as we're under a minute here. Looking to lock up that cradle. Speaking of Dakota Fins and Feathers, if you love hunting and fishing, then you'll love Dakota Fins and Feathers on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel today. Again, a little lull in the action here. 30 seconds remaining, still 4-0 on the scoreboard in favor of Jenkins. And then 10-0 on the United Community Bank scoreboard in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. And their lower weights are really impressive. And we talked about that earlier, Jesse. It kind of takes the wind out of your sails if you don't get on the board early, and it looks like the Spuds are trying to really tally on the points early on the go here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it firsthand. Once Willmar gets rolling, it's tough to get them, kind of derailed off the track. So Moorhead probably being a familiar foe with these guys, but curious to see if we'll see some jockeying of the lineups later on.
You know you're going to give up some points in the middle of this lineup to Willmar when you hit Inez Carlson. There's no doubt about it. So it's one of those things that, you got to build this lead up because you know it's gonna shade away at some point here. We're off into the second period here, Again, we'd like to thank Great Clips. Download the Great Clips app from the App Store to find the location nearest you today. We're still in the 121-pound matchup between Cruz and Jenkins.
Jenkins kind of slowing down his pace from how he started. Kind of started the match, shot out of a cannon. Cruz looking like he's kind of settling in a little bit.
And just
again, there it is.
When we want action, Jesse, we're just going to have you call the opposite, and then we're going to roll with it. But takedown there makes it 6-0 in favor of Jenkins over Cruz. Again, I would imagine Cruz is a tough customer, but I would imagine they are looking for bonus points here if they can get it. Just like what we talked about, you're going to run into some really tough customers coming up here from the Willmar Cardinals.
Tell you what, the way this Jenkins wrestles on top and what we saw at Ellingsburg last match, with these two in the room, I wonder if anybody ever gets an escape.
Exactly. Again, we got a little potentially dangerous. We haven't had much for blood timeouts. Thank goodness for that, and not many potentially dangerous. And once in a while you take that risk, but I really believe good wrestling, you stay out of those sorts of things because it's so controlled, and I've seen that out of all three teams tonight.
Well, it's been a huge emphasis at the state level the last few years, just kind of protecting the wrestlers, and we've seen rule changes in other sports like football as well. Sports are ever evolving.
And I think it's a good thing, as much as sometimes we'd like to see, it's easy to talk about the good old days and this could have happened and that. It's good to see things that benefit kids, and we're down to the last 10 seconds here, still 6-0 in favor of Jenkins over Cruz. We'd like to thank you for joining along on Magnitude Sports Network with us tonight. We're in the second of 3 in the triangular tonight. Right now, we currently have the Moorhead Spuds dueling with the Willmar Cardinals. To follow will be the nightcap, and the following the final presentation of the night. We'll have these Moorhead Spuds versus the Perham Yellow Jackets. A little bit of action happening here, but kind of staying true to what they're doing. Minute 25 remaining on the United Community Bank score clock, and we get a stall call.
Yeah, Cruz kind of willing that stall call to happen. Definitely putting a good ride on Jenkins here in the third period. I'm sure if I'm the Moorhead Spuds coaching staff, I'm saying get going, try to get one extra point here for the team. Just as we say that, Jenkins with a reversal once again.
Well, and one of the things that we should bring up, Jesse, is this is a little bit even more than when the Yellow Jackets are wrestling these two. These have implications for individual sections as well. If you can walk in and you've beat common opponents or you've had a head-to-head, it might bump you out of a 4 seed into a 2-3 or that sort of situation. So I think there's a lot on the line right now, and both squads are wrestling that way.
Yeah, definitely. The head-to-head matchups are king when it comes to seeding a tournament, and I doubt if we'll see any people shying away from each other between these two guys. Jenkins with a nice attempt here as we get down to about 10 seconds. Holding on for that major decision as of right now, but he's getting a little bit high. If Cruz could peek out, he could looks like Jenkins is sinking it in there at the buzzer.
And he's going to hold on to a major 8-0 decision. Adds 4 more points onto the scoreboard for the Moorhead Spuds. They now lead 14-0 on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Waiting for the 127-pounders to come out.
Both of these two coming shot right out of a cannon, it seems like.
I'm trying to write down names and catch this. Little bit of a switch up. From the beginning, we had Mars the first round. Now Kaler coming out. And Kaler did a great job in his match as well against the Yellow Jackets. And so Isaac Kaler coming out for Willmar. And we have Dalton Hemenick, a ninth grader, 20-10 on the season, and he gets the takedown. Hemenick with an early takedown for the Spuds.
Hemenick right to an armbar situation here. Buries a half on the other side. He's got it pretty deep.
Again, this 127-pound match brought to you commercial-free by Perham Chamber of Commerce and Budget Blinds. And this one is looking like it might not last as long as I thought it would, but boy, Moorhead Spuds come out, and as good as Willmar looked early against the Yellow Jackets, if you're the Yellow Jackets, you're probably doing a little scouting here, thinking about what you're going to do in matchups as you go into Moorhead, as they're wrestling really well right now. 3 points being held by the official. So we're going to have at the very least 5-0 as the score. Kaler keeps trying to wrap that leg around, trying to give him some leverage as we're cinching it up. We're down to 10 seconds remaining here. Looking for the fall is Hemenick, putting some serious pressure on here. Kaler wraps that leg around again. 2, 1, and he holds off. So that near fall will be awarded right now. Makes it 5-0. Going into the second, defer, and Kaler takes down. Kind of an interesting call there. A lot of the damage was done by Hemenick in this up position as he comes with from the left field, a crossface right into kind of tilting over, not getting any points. Didn't break that 45-degree plane, but right back into it. Boy.
Running the butcher right over the top there. He must have that crossface pretty tight, because
our number one butcher fan isn't probably able to watch tonight as he's doing some coaching of his own, but we'll throw a little shout out in case he goes back to listen to us. But nice work, as this is some really good chain wrestling here. Up 8-0 and adding on.
Ooh, that's tight. Double arm bar by Hemenick. There it should be. Wow, flipped completely around into a headlock. Folding the arms over the face makes it kind of tough to breathe down there. That's tight.
Boy, that's tight right now.
Minute left, we got an eternity, and there's the fall.
Hemenick, Jesse, a ninth grader, now 21-10 on the season. And wow, he came and threw his name in to the wrestler of the match, brought to you by J&L Nutrition in the backyard.
Yeah, Moorhead Spuds have a couple nice-looking young guys here early in their lineup, but just as we say that, here comes Maris, and we talked about how impressive he was in the match against the Yellow Jackets. We'll be curious to see if he can continue this.
Maybe put a little pressure on him, naming him the early wrestler of the match. Extreme quickness if you have not seen this young man wrestle. Still waiting for the Moorhead wrestler. Again, we've had this a couple times. And again, I think there was a little switch around there, as I had on mine Hemenick at 133. So
33 pounds for Willmar, Ivan Morris. And for Moorhead, Owen Morris.
So I believe he said Owen Borus, but I don't even have him on my roster. So if I have that wrong, I apologize right off the bat. Like I said, it's the one tough thing in wrestling. We get the starting five in a basketball game, it's the starting 5. But I don't have, unless it's Owen Borrud, I bet. 9th grader, 12-10. He weighed in at 121, excuse me. So here we go, some adjustments maybe being made here. We'll see what happens here as we get going, and if we pick up a name, we'll certainly send it your way. But we're going to go with Owen Borrud, a 9th grader, 12-10, against Ivan Morris, a senior. And with the win, I would say he's 13-9, if not better, and he comes out with that first takedown.
From what we've seen, just kind of a typical goal-behind takedown for Morris. He's definitely quick on his feet. We talked about moving guys around in the lineup. This could be something where they're trying to see what matchups work for section time coming up here, similar to what we saw with the Yellow Jackets and the Dilworth, Glendon, Felton Rebels. We saw completely different lineups than we were anticipating, and sometimes it's all just kind of a test.
It's really one of the nice job here again, and that you see that quickness on that shot. No points awarded yet. He's got to kind of just come around, get that leg free a little bit there. He gets it. No back points awarded though. So we're in the second period, minute 30 to go, 4-0 lead here. I know if you're Willmar, you're going to want to get yourself on the board here sooner than later. This 133-pound match is being brought to you commercial-free by Lakes Area Co-op and Lakes Ace Area Hardware, who brings us our starting lineups. And since it's been so tough, we'll just mention them a couple times as we get an escape by Borrud.
Yeah, Borrud doing a good job controlling hands. Basically walk out when you got both of his hands in yours.
Under 45 seconds remaining here. Willmar with the neither wrestler really in an advantage position right now. About as vocal as I've heard the coaching staffs tonight. You can sense Willmar's needing this one, and they're looking for more than just a regular decision. So again, I think they're encouraging their wrestler, Mr. Mars, to go after it, kind of like he did against the Yellow Jackets. He was on the legs repeatedly, but again, a little bit different wrestler here. Long body for Mr. Borrud from Moorhead, and here we're going to get two. Looking right to his back. He got the two.
He got the two at the buzzer. You definitely wonder, knowing these teams are in the same section, they've probably seen each other multiple times. Some of these guys multiple years. Just curious, sometimes, as for instance, the Yellow Jackets don't see these teams very often. Sometimes when you know somebody, you can prepare for them a little bit, and it definitely was evident that maybe some of the Yellow Jackets weren't quite, ready for some of these guys they had no scouting report on.
Well, and again, you came off of a long weekend. No excuses there. Willmar did as well, and Willmar came out ready. Sometimes just the speed and the different style of wrestling gets to you, and we'll see if the adjustments are made as the Yellow Jackets warm up and they do a few things maybe differently when they go against the Spuds. Nice reversal there.
Nice switch by Morris there.
And again, they're getting close to getting those bonus points that they so badly need right now to kind of shore up the score a little bit. And again, I don't want to play predictor here, but you got to imagine the next 3 to 4 matches should probably favor Willmar Cardinals as they get going, and there's 2 more.
Did he award those?
I don't think he awarded them.
He still got the arm.
So now I think he has 3 down. He gave them the next. So I think it's still 8-1. Will be 11-1.
Kind of interesting. Coaches right before that told Morris to cut him loose, go for that next takedown, and Morris kind of winked at him and said, give me a minute, and turned him over for 3 back points.
And one of the things that I was impressed with him earlier, and there's I believe they awarded 2. I thought for sure he would get more. It's 10-1. I thought he was dangerous from every position, whether he was in the down position, neutral, or on top. He always seemed to have an answer and is up again 10-1.
Well, you're seeing it right here. I think he's unbelievably strong for this weight class.
Yes.
You know, a lot of guys trying to crank on him, throw him here and there, and he just stays true to what he's doing. Definitely a tough hombre at this weight class.
10-1 decision for Ivan Morris, and that brings the scoreboard to 20-4 in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. Interesting to see what Willmar does here with some of their aces in the hole. It's like bringing out closers one after another, and not saying there's not going to be matchups for the Moorhead Spuds, because they definitely have some wrestlers coming in here, but boy, the advantage has to be coming now to the Willmar Cardinals.
Looks like Willmar's showing Kevin Carlson here.
At 139 pounds, from Willmar, Kevin Carlson, and from Moorhead, Croy Monroe.
So we have, for the Willmar Cardinals, Kevin Carlson, number 5 in the state of Minnesota by the last Guillotine rankings. He's a 10th grader, 29-4 is his record. He is taking on, from the Moorhead Spuds, Croy Monroe, a 9th grader, 29-7. So again, records in basketball, a lot of times you look at records. I think you can at wrestling. These are going to be 2 good wrestlers, and we've seen it already. A 0-0, 30-some seconds here, and Carlson gets a takedown.
Yeah, Carlson just adamant toward that single leg. Both attempts have been to that same leg. Worked his way around and a go behind from there. Here he is again, head in the hole. Beautiful go behind again. Right into a tilt. Again, these Willmar Cardinals do a really good job of just one thing to the next. They don't let the bottom man prepare. Carlson's got to be a little careful there as he's getting kind of close to being on his back. 3-point near fall in that tilt.
45 seconds remaining on your United Community Bank scoreboard. 7-1 now in favor of Carlson. And those tilts are one of those, as I was a novice dad, telling my boys, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because it seems like the worst position you'd want to put yourself in. But you can probably explain, Jesse, there's a lot more control there than one would think as the cradle slaps in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's those guys who are really good tilters. They can run up that scoreboard in a hurry. You think different styles of wrestling. High school wrestling in Minnesota is folk style, and you get into some freestyle wrestling here too, where all you need to do is expose the shoulders for 3 points.
So a 10-1 lead after 1 here for Carlson, and he chooses the down position. Carlson does. Again, this is probably bonus points alley. If you're a Willmar Cardinal fan, you're going to want them to rack up some bonus points, and if not narrow the gap, maybe take the lead. Again, nice action by both wrestlers here as they go off the mat. One escape for Carlson. Two takedown for Carlson. And again, we're 13-1, heading our way into what is looking like a Tech Fall coming this way. And so if you're Carlson, again, you're only in the second period. I don't think you need to rush things. Looking to lock up maybe a cradle here as we get rolling. Again, nice fight off here. Minute remaining here as we get going. second period, 20-4 on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Carlson leading 13-1. Again, just working feverishly to get those next 3 points and putting that tech fall on the board, if not a fall. There's a stall, so there's 1 point. So now a 2-pointer will give that tech fall in the 5 points and really cut that scoreboard in half. .30 seconds remain here at the 139-pound weight class. This 139-pound match is brought to you commercial free by Hanson's Plumbing and Heating and United Community Bank, and we're getting those points right now, and this is going to lead to that tech fall. If not fall, 7 seconds remaining here on the United Community Bank scoreboard, and it's tightening up, and there's the fall.
2 seconds left.
2 seconds remaining, just like he knew, and gained that extra point for the Willmar Cardinals, which now brings your United Community Bank scoreboard to 20-10 in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. But the road's not going to get any easier right now for Spuds fans. We're going to head into the 145-pound match. Josh Beach coming out for Moorhead. Josh Beach is a 9th grader with a 1-20 record. He is going to go against Conlon Carlson, a junior with 31-4 record at minimum, a junior rated number 3 by the Guillotine. And so again, this is where this scoreboard should tighten up if you are a Willmar Cardinal fan, and if you're the Moorhead Spuds, you're kind of doing the old REO Speedwagon, riding the storm out right now.
No doubt.
This 145-pound match is brought to you commercial free by Joe Foltz Construction and Reuter Family Dentistry.
Kind of a wrist roll attempt here, nicely done by Carlson. That's a college level move that takes unbelievable technique there.
And there's the fall in 52 seconds. And again, now all of a sudden what looked like a dreary spot for Willmar is now 20-16 on our scoreboard and tightening it up. And they're not to the end of their run here, I don't believe.
No, because here comes Inez.
Bridger Mongo, a captain, a senior, 18 and 15. Mongo, again, is a captain this year. Inez comes into tonight. Again, our records are a little off. I could only find up to a certain point, but he is a junior, ranked number 9 in the latest Guillotine, and we know he's at least 26-4 on the season, and he is one tough customer, and this is going to be a good one. Jason Groth always says, Jesse, it comes down to bonus points, and we're seeing his words in action right now, as it looked a little desperate for the Willmar Cardinals, and now all of a sudden they could be leading after this one.
Yeah, it's the beauty of wrestling. We in a blink of an eye here, we're right back down to a neck-and-neck match.
Thank you to Nias Family Sales and EOT Insurance for bringing you this commercial-free 152-pound match.
Inez doing a good job with that ball and chain ride, going for a tilt here. Looks like we got a little blood.
We have our first Perham Health blood timeout. And again, it'll give us a little chance to kind of catch our breath here, but also talk about what's happening tonight. Stay on this same stream. Moorhead Spuds versus Perham Yellow Jackets in our nightcap. A lot of times we'll have to see what happens. If JV portion is done, the lights will go down and it kind of becomes the center stage. kind of a neat venue. Love to see what the new mat looks like underneath the lights here. But a great night of wrestling. Again, both of these schools in 8-3A. So a lot of things on the line here tonight. Probably matchups as far as individual seeding, looking at team seeding where they could match up. I know Bemidji has a formidable team. Brainerd's up there at the top. So these two are two of the top 4 teams in 8-3A, and the Yellow Jackets come in 8-2A. And again, they're looking for their opportunity to also get into deep into a playoff run and maybe punch their ticket to the state tournament. So great night of wrestling here as we get another one of those tilts in. We saw them early and often. And again, they gave 2.
Inez doing a good job going to work on that. He went to kind of that ball and chain right away, and then he went back to that cross wrist 2-on-1 tilt.
20 seconds remain. Down to 8. Again, one of the things we talked about, and we saw it early and often by the Moorhead Spuds, and now we're seeing it again out of the Willmar Cardinals, is wrestling through the whistle. And I think that's one of those mindset things that you work on in the room. There's some really good things that you work on in the room, and we talk about the basics, single leg, how to get out of this, how to defend that. But I think that mindset of running through a whole period is one of the big things that probably doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's natural if you make it natural. You know, you practice it all the time. If you do it in the room, you're going to do it in the match. And it's not something that you can just tell somebody to do and have them do. It needs to be practiced.
Stall call there on Mongo. His first stall call, so 6-0 here in favor of Inez. And again, I know the Cardinals are looking bonus points, and it's looking that way because it seems like this match has been under control. But if you look back into our last match, Logan Gook looked like he was controlled for most of the match from Perham, and all of a sudden you get one flip turn or a headlock, and that changes in a hurry. But we've got some more back points coming the way of the Cardinals.
There he got a 5 count on this last one. Again, just a nice job by Inez sticking to that, going to different latches and hooks to see how can I get that a little tighter to make sure my back points get all the way to a 5 count.
And one of the things I think, Jesse, as we see a lot from their wrestlers, we're seeing a lot of those tilts, which makes me believe, not that they're not working on it in their room, but they probably do a lot of freestyle in the off season.
For sure. There's a deep half buried by Inez, and he just kind of puts a nail in the coffin at the end there.
And again, just like that 20-point lead just gets wiped out, and it's now 22-20 in favor of the Willmar Cardinals heading into a 160-pound match. And it's been one of the interesting matches, and one of the things we've always talked about is where's your stopper come from? Who's the person who's going to step up for Moorhead now and go, I'm going to take control of this and get us back in the winner's column?
Well, for Moorhead, nobody like one of your senior captains. We've heard the Ellingsburg name tonight already. Lee Ellingsburg, 24-10 for Moorhead, one of their captains. He's a senior.
And again, we saw earlier, I don't know, maybe we'll see him yet, but we saw Cameron Champagne get a little... kind of had that injury time out. We don't want to assume anything. Colton Lehman, the trainer, came out, looked at him. They pulled him from the last one. Little different matchup here now, a little bit different running through the middle of this lineup for the Willmar Cardinals, and that might be the reason he might be sitting out tonight. And so we're seeing different kids in different situations, but both of these guys are quality wrestlers, and we watched Zalea wrestle earlier, and his record doesn't show what he could really do. He's 2-2 a senior, and you had talked about Ellingsburg, and we already had. You're starting to see common names, and I always think that's awesome in the sport of wrestling when families get together and this happens. it usually bodes well for good things to come for that program.
It's interesting, too. Sometimes, I don't know how it compares, but you got to think some of those little brothers have to be some pretty tough cats dealing with older brother beating on them all the time.
Exactly. Ellingsburg with the takedown. Gives a 2-0 lead. 30 seconds remain on your United Community Bank score clock. I'd like to thank Budget Blinds for their pregame show and kind of pregame shows as we get going, and there's a reversal. Under 20 seconds remain here, 2-2. Both wrestlers working extremely hard. 10 seconds remain with the escape there by Ellingsburg, makes it 3-2 in his favor. Time ticking down, heading to the second period. I'd also like to thank Lakes Ace Hardware. Tough to give starting lineups when there's so much jockeying going around, but each time one wrestler comes to the mat, we want to thank Lakes Ace Hardware. Get your favorite Benjamin Moore and Magnolia paint colors or color match any color today at Lakes Ace Hardware in downtown Perham. Escape for Zalea. Makes it 3-3 as we get rolling here into the second period. 1:40 remaining. Again, great matchup here, and maybe one we thought might favor the Moorhead Spuds, but Zalea really following suit to what kind of like a layout cut pattern for the Willmar Cardinals of when they're successful, and he's doing those things right now.
Yeah, and you think back, I mean, we've seen the Carlson boys and Inez. I'm sure that's who he's practicing with every day, so he's seeing some of the best in the state of Minnesota every day in the room.
Exactly. Nice shot. Double kind of switched to a single. A nice job. Both wrestlers kind of fending it off, but here sticking with it is Ellingsburg. He gets the 2-point takedown. Now leading 5-3. Under 50 seconds remain in the second period. Again, good matchup here. Good matchup here for both squads. And again, one of those you could see in maybe a section semifinal type situation. And that's what this is meant to be, is to get you ready, because we're going to turn the page really shortly. And all these teams are going to be at section playoff time. And nothing more fun than to watch good wrestling when it comes to section and then on to state. 10 seconds remaining.
Ooh, got a swipe on the edge there. Looks like they're going to go off the mat with 0.4 seconds left.
Always love when it's, you know, the official's into the match too when he's not going, well, we're going to play this out for the 0.4. So 5-3 lead for Ellingsburg heading into the third period. He's going to go to the down position, trying to add to his lead, get away from that 2-point lead, make it a 3-point lead. Quick stand up here into a switch, looking for more, and he gets the reversal into 2.
Right to a Turk step opportunity here. You're going to see him elevate and claw that chin. There he's getting back points. If he can turn that chin over toward the shoulder blade, a lot of times you can even work this into a fall.
Again, such an awkward position, and nice job here by Zalea fighting out of that, because a lot of times that's a tough one to get out of. Still in the same hold. That's why the official's holding. There he awards the 3. Makes it 10-3. Again, now it flips back to that bonus points the other way. We're minute remaining, getting that next. I don't know. I always think about a minute. I'd like to start cutting and go to takedowns, but I think in Ellingsburg's feeling pretty good with these tilts.
I was gonna say he's got an opportunity here. Zalea's got to be careful not to turn into him too much.
Boy, he's being real physical on top. I hope you can see it from the angle at home. I've got like the picture-perfect angle of how much pressure he's now putting on Zalea, and Zalea's just really fighting, but there he grabs into just what you had said. Don't turn in too tight. There's one swipe.
There he's got a 2
and then
count.
20 seconds remain, and this would be some big bonus points
He's going to
for
try
the
to
Moorhead
climb
Spuds.
up here right at the end to see if he can get the fall.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, went a little too aggressive with it. 3-point near fall awarded. He's got to kind of ride this out here.
5 seconds remaining, and he's going to do just that. So 13-3 win for the Moorhead Spuds. And Lee Ellingsburg runs his record to 25-10, and more importantly, puts Moorhead back up on your United Community Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about it. You kind of had to stop the bleeding there, and we'll see if they can carry this momentum into the upper weights.
Again, we're heading into the 172-pound match. I apologize. We're waiting for the announcer to find out. I think there must be some changes here. I think we'll get it to you quickly. And those of you at home probably know who these two are and are waiting to tell us. But again, 24-22 on the scoreboard in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. 172-pound match, and this is a good one. Potentially dangerous, breaks up that hold. Again, nice action off the mat. You always kind of, mats are never big enough, and you kind of hate to see that go off the mat, but it looks like no harm done there. Caution here on red.
Willmar wrestler's got to be a little careful here. Got a little too high, and the Moorhead wrestler kind of snuck out the back for a reversal.
Again, I apologize if I missed it. I don't think they ever announced who these wrestlers were. I could make a guess, but that would just be a guess. There we have an escape for making it 2-1, or 3-2, excuse me. Ooh, we got to watch that knee. We got potentially dangerous there.
Some people they bend in different ways.
I know I don't bend that way.
My knee would be laying on the mat right now. Nice misdirection shot there by the Willmar wrestler. Again, this is where we've seen them excel trying to work his way to a 2-point takedown. They not only get to the shot, they run their feet to it and get that takedown.
I think this, for Willmar, I believe, is Will Chavez, 12th grader. I had him at 0-2 on the season. We get one of the two. I'll keep listening here.
Got both boots in now. Trying to go power half here. It's a lot of pressure on the bottom guy.
With a 5-2 lead, it's a good time to take some time off the clock, too, as you're going.
Oofta, that's a lot of pressure.
Ooh, reversal?
Very wiry move by the bottom man there. Ended up in a headlock, and this is tight for Moorhead.
And there's the fall.
Oh. Almost took the ref out in action.
And we finally get a name, Ron Edu, a captain, 12th grader, 11-2. We got to give him a little shout out as he gets the fall, and that's a huge one for Moorhead heading into 189 pounds, putting some pressure on Willmar here as they're now up 30-22. I believe they said Sky Hansen. I think I don't have him on a. And for Moorhead, David Krabenhoff, a 12th grader, 11-12. He is also a captain. So you got to be thinking there's been some switches going on here, and Moorhead's really hoping to gather up as we have 3 weight classes to go. So a victory here puts it really, really in the favor of Moorhead Spuds. And whoa, there was a headlock just off the mat, and we were going to see some high action happening here.
Yeah, and I can't help but look ahead and see that Moorhead's got a state qualifier coming back at heavyweight. So it's always nice to have that security blanket on top.
Right.
With that being said, we know with any heavyweight match, anything can happen.
Yeah, this could be a fun one down to the end here, and you got to really think Moorhead came in here to really wrestle, especially after sitting in the stands and watching what Willmar did to the Perham Yellow Jackets. They didn't take any of that to heart. They just came out here and went right at Willmar and kind of maybe caught Willmar off guard a little bit. It's always hard to know how it is when you're wrestling the second, and there's another.
Beautifully set up there. He faked one way and went the other way. We used to call that the old shake and bake. Doesn't look like he's going to pin him here. Oh, there he reset himself. He's got to get back up on top a little bit.
So on our sister station on Magnitude Sports, as we're getting down to the 5 seconds on this, Mike Mason had the call on wrestling over there. Full that Perham fans, if you're listening, DGF beats Crookston 66-9. So DGF stays on the run that they've been on, and they also defeat Barnesville 57-13. So DGF rolling up some scores in 8AA as well. So again, back to this one, 30-22. Even a regular decision here really puts some pressure on the Willmar Cardinals, as they'd be up 11, needing 2 pins to win. And that's, there's one thing to get a pin, there's another thing that you got to go out and get a pin. 2 separate type of animals there, and how you can get them.
Can't look away from this match because the way these guys are tying up, you know there's going to be some more high flying. Can't help it.
Game of throws right here, and who's going to get thrown and who's not. Minute 15 remaining on your United Community Bank scoreboard. This 189-pound match is brought to you commercial-free by Kalen Family Brands tonight. Again, Moorhead looking for a stall call, is kind of backing off the mat, and you got to love the pressure that Krabenhoff's putting on right now. He's a senior, 11-12, and a captain, and doing what a captain should do, kind of smelling that victory and wanting to be the one who says, hey, I got us there. I put that final nail in, and so good action happening here. Under 40 seconds remaining on your United Community Bank scoreboard. 5-0 is the lead, so to get that bonus point, making it a 12-point, he would need to get another takedown here and hold on. There's still another period to go, though.
Ooh, nice shot attempt there by Willmar wrestler. Just didn't quite commit to it.
Under 20 seconds remaining. Again, like you said, Jesse, it's hard to look away because you just don't know what's going to be happening here. Into the third period we go, still 6-0 lead. So again, Grabenhoff definitely looking for that takedown in some way, and the action has slowed down. They came out fast and furious, and we were throwing left and right, and now all of a sudden we've kind of slowed down back into the action of some of the upper weights. So I would guess at that minute mark, they'll have a little rest in them here, and we'll see another flurry coming from one way or another.
Grabenhoff doing a good job, knowing that he's got 2 stall calls already on his opponent, just working forward, okay, taking territory, keeping the inside ties, not getting anywhere where he's going to be in any trouble.
And again, that little circle in might
save him.
Might save Hansen there as we get going. And again, off the mat, 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining. Ooh, quick shot off the whistle. Ooh, almost into that throw, and here we are. And then they back out of it. But
probably a smart move there. We don't need it right now.
50 seconds remaining here on your United Community Bank score clock. And again, getting that takedown would be huge for the Spuds, but now we've got Hansen in on a shot. Doing just enough, Jesse, just to get to that leg to get a restart and stay away from that stall call.
You've noticed anytime there's been a close attempt, Grabenhoff at the edge of the mat, knowing where he can stay out of trouble.
30 seconds down to the final 30 seconds, and it's one thing, it's that catch-22 here. You don't want to be thrown.
Oof.
So again, it goes to that edge of the mat where they feel more secure. You don't want something wrong to happen here, because at the very least you're putting a ton of pressure. The Moorhead Spuds will be putting a ton of pressure on the Willmar Cardinals, even just with a regular decision here.
There's a stall call with under 10 seconds left. Might be too little too late for Grabenhoff to look for a major unless, shot off the whistle attempt. Here we go, 2 seconds. Oh, saved by the buzzer. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm just going to say final score 7-0. So again, it's still in shooting distance for Willmar. That's going to give them an 11-point lead, 2 to go. So in theory, there's still a shot with even a tie at Tech Fall. We'd have to look back at the amount of wins. But we head into the 215-pound match. We have Ramiro Trevino, senior, 14 and 9 on the season, against Genesis Camara, a 10th grader, 12 and 15. So maybe a little toss-up match here by these two. But again, it's going to go down. It always seems, and Jesse, you've been there, that the heavyweights are going to fit in there somewhere where it's going to come down to that match. So takedown by Trevino here.
We saw Trevino have some good shot attempts against Hudson Hackle in the first match. He didn't stop his offense the whole match. He kept going, so we know what kind of wrestler he is.
Exactly, and this is a good matchup here. And again, you got to be thinking you're a little on the edge of your seat if you're the Moorhead Spuds. I don't want to say that this is an upset, but if you look at peer rankings, Willmar came in the guillotine ranked number 10. This would be an upset, and this is opening the eyes of 8-3A Again, I don't know the situation. I think that Willmar has a couple kids that are out tonight, and I don't know about Moorhead. But again, that can make a difference, especially with the quality of a wrestler like Steven Cruz, a number 5 in Section 8. Well, in the state in 3A. So again, really a good night here for both squads. But you got to hand it. Moorhead Spuds set the tone early, and it kind of has carried them through to this point.
Yeah, and they stopped the bleeding after that nice run of wrestlers for Willmar, and they got a big upset win there where they weren't winning, and they turned around and got the fall. That might be the difference here.
Second takedown here by Trevino. They were looking for that quick half, that takedown into a half. Time runs out, 4-1. Trevino with the win. Again, that tightens up that stranglehold a little bit on that score clock. Again, the defer, they're going to both go up, and not surprising. Trevino seems really good on his feet, and he just is kind of walking around real confident right now, and the most dangerous wrestler is a confident wrestler.
Yeah, he's getting Kamara to reach a lot. Anytime you can get a guy to reach, it definitely creates some space for the legs, and that's what Trevino's looking for.
Again, stick with this same stream. We're going to come back with Moorhead Spuds versus the Perham Yellow Jackets. The Perham wrestlers are warming up right now in the wrestling room, and
here we go.
Here we go. We have another takedown.
It's tight.
Near fall, and he's looking for more, and there it is, the pin by Trevino.
Just like you wrote the script, Lance.
You can't make this much better than what it is. 33-28. A pin by Willmar wins it for them. Any decision for Moorhead brings it in, and we talked about Donnellan, a longer wrestler, 11th grader, 6 and 8 on the season, and Jake Erdman. Jake Erdman's a senior, 14 and 5, a captain, state qualifier. So you have to think advantage Spuds. They were looking for that takedown early as it was a touchdown, and it had to been close, not called by the official.
This Erdman is a big dude for Moorhead. Definitely a bigger heavyweight. Donnellan has some length, but definitely the size and strength so far is going to Erdman. Doing a good job in his bear hug position here. Both guys kind of fiddling for position. You can just see the pure strength by Erdman there.
Right, and he gets that takedown, and with every point that goes on the board here and the time ticks down, you can kind of sense the Moorhead wrestlers further and further to the edge of their seat, knowing what this means for them, and then they got to come back and wrestle though. So you can't get too high. That's the unique thing about wrestling. You can't get too high or too low, and we're in a dangerous position right here.
And this is probably going to be it.
And there's the fall by Erdman, and Erdman wraps up that one on the scoreboard. Final score 39-28. In favor of the Moorhead Spuds over the Willmar Cardinals. We're going to step away. We're going to do a few changes, step away for a commercial break here. We'll come back and kind of wrap this up and get ready for Perham versus Moorhead Spuds. We'll be right back.
For over 30 years, Budget Blinds, based out of Detroit Lakes, has been serving Perham, Fergus Falls, Park Rapids, and the surrounding area. Whether you need blinds, shutters, or drapes, check out the entire inventory online at budgetblinds.com. Budget Blinds is backed by the #1 provider for window coverings in North America and is your local window coverings expert. Visit them online today, budgetblinds.com, or give them a call at 218-206-9599. That's 218-206-9599 and online at budgetblinds.com.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood with expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff. Welcome to the home convenience store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's something new every day, some different stuff to do. It's not the same monotonous thing over and over again.
Everybody works together, everybody knows everybody, you know, we all get along just well. It's just a great company to work with.
It's like a big family here. It's just everybody gets along with everybody and everybody clicks. Everybody just helps everybody out. And it's a pretty awesome job to have.
Ray's Sport and Marine in Perham has you covered for all your recreational needs. Ray's carries a large inventory of Lund boats, Bennington pontoons, plus Viaggio pontoons. They also carry the Yamaha line of ATVs and UTVs, as well as the full line of Honda Power Sports. Stop in and check out all of what Ray's Sport and Marine has to offer. Good luck to all Perham athletes, and go Yellow Jackets!
Reuter Family Dentistry, with locations in Perham and Wadena, welcomes new patients. Come meet the friendly and professional team and experience for yourself what it is patients love about Reuter Family Dentistry.
You know, Dr. Reuter is just so kind and inviting, and she's very proactive, and she has instilled it in her staff to be so friendly and inviting also, and that just makes it a wonderful experience.
River's Edge Cabinetry loves their customers, and customers like Emily love them right back. She says, I've seen a lot of cabinets in my 16 years of real estate sales and appraising, and the quality of River's Edge Cabinetry is right there with the best. Jen says working with them was great because they took care of everything. I really like their style, attention to detail, and being able to see 3D drawings up front. Call 218-346-0127 or visit the website today, riversedgecabinetry.com, turning your vision into reality.
One of our core values at United Community Bank is reinvesting in the communities we serve. I personally take great pride in this, as I'm a fifth generation in our family here at United Community Bank. We've been here for over 100 years. We take a great sense of pride in sort of that reciprocal relationship we have with our community, that, you know, we need our community members and they need us, and we love giving back and reinvesting.
1 in 5 high school students use e-cigarettes or vapes. Some of them, like Juul, are so slim and sleek that they look like a flash drive. That's why e-cigarettes and vapes are so appealing to kids. There are more than 7,000 flavors and they're sold where kids shop, online and in convenience stores. Most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, which is highly addictive and can harm brain development as teens grow. No amount of nicotine is safe for youth. Like it or not, we are a target. This message is brought to you by the Minnesota Department of Health.
Well, welcome back into the Hive here as we're getting ready for the final nightcap here as we're finishing up some JV matches. I would imagine kind of in tradition, the lights are going to go out. We'll have the focus on the mat. They'll make it really difficult for us to see up here, so you'll have to forgive us if we goof up a few things. But what a great matchup we've had. We started out tonight, Willmar defeating Perham. Willmar kind of just came out and threw their self into the mix as we're on the EOT post-game show. And then we just finally finished up and we saw, and I don't think the lights are going to go down. I think they're kind of going to get things rolling here. So we saw Moorhead come out, really jump on board really early and just did a great job, and they defeated Willmar Cardinals in a little bit of an upset. And we'll just, right away, I'm just going to throw out the J&L Nutrition backyard wrestler of the match. I'm going to give it to David Krabenhoff. They needed a big win out of the senior. They got it. He did what he was supposed to do as a captain, and thus just a great job and a great victory. So now there's not much time to go celebrate. Here we go right back onto the mat. We're going to have the Perham Yellow Jackets. So this is kind of your budget blinds pre-game show, EOT post-game show all wrapped into one. So the Yellow Jackets are coming in 11-9 on the season. No one ranked right now. They slipped out of the lean and mean rankings. We've got Moorhead with that victory. Now they're 11-10. They're in 8-3A. Yellow Jackets in 8-2A. Been a battle, been a traditional this has been kind of the end of the year, beginning of the year match for the Yellow Jackets and Spuds for a long, long time.
Yeah, for sure, and it's definitely great for the Yellow Jackets to have another 3A school here. With 3A competition just comes more quality, people at your school with enrollment being higher. So it's good for the Yellow Jackets to get another good opportunity at a good match here as we head into February and toward the end of the season.
Again, we've got a lot of great sponsors that are bringing this commercial free to you tonight. Budget Blinds, Lakes Ace Hardware, KLN Family Brands, Ray Sport Marine, Reuter Family Dentistry, Joe Foltz Construction, Interiors by Winkles, River's Edge Cabinetry, United Community Bank, Perham Health, and many more. So Wegscheid coming out for the Yellow Jackets. Wegscheid a sophomore, 17-14 on the season. And we saw one tough kid in Rinky come out as a 7th grader, 11-5, and he was like a little dynamo, but Drez has got some length on him on this one, Jesse.
For sure, definitely right away you're seeing these two tie up. There Drez is in on a single leg, trying to come out the back, see if he can keep his ankles clean here. Good job by Dresden to collect that 2-point takedown.
So nice job by Dresden. And one way to slow down a dynamo is get right in on the legs, but escape for Rinky is this might be one of those fun ones, and it might be a last person taken down with the victory. But boy, if you're the Yellow Jackets, you got to stem the tide early, because Moorhead Spuds came out against Willmar and kind of just caught them off guard and went right to it. If you're the Yellow Jackets, I don't think you can afford to do that tonight.
Yeah, so far you're seeing Drez create some kind of uncomfortable tie-ups for Rinky. Definitely not the same energy he came out with before, but again, Drez can't sleep on this kid.
No, and it's one of the things watching Dresden Wegscheid. He's been waiting to be a full 107-pounder for a long time here and kind of starting to come into his own now as we hit the section time. A little headlock there, but Rinky in a good spot here is doing what you're just told to do, is kind of sit in the chair, and there's the takedown. And now he's got a near side cradle in. Looks like
that way, yep.
Drez does a good job stretching it out. 20 seconds remain on your score clock, but here we're going to get some back points as the official doing a great job of getting around. 10 seconds remaining. Drez has got to stay out of harm's way here because Rinky's settling in right now. Good job by Dresden to belly out. 3 seconds remaining. Near fall for Ranke of 3 gives him a 6-2 lead heading into the second period. Boy, this Ranke for a 7th grader, Jesse, is something else.
He's definitely explosive when he needs to be, and even though he didn't start like last match, he definitely found his opening and capitalized on it.
Ranke takes the down position, and if you didn't hear us the first time, this Ranke's a 7th grader, 11-5. I'd like to see the 5 kids he lost to, because he is really going. Dres getting really high here. You hope that he doesn't slip over the top, or Ranke can get the head, and he does. Curls him under stack position coming here. We got near fall. Dres is scooting. And there's the fall. Boy, though, boy, this Ranke just put his name in the hat for the wrestler, the J&L Nutrition backyard wrestler of the match right away in the first bout.
Yeah, that kid is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, again, only a 7th grader, but yet such poise and such explosiveness that's scary to think about.
It is, and we're going to head in that 113-pound, 107-pound matches. I've got so many papers here, Jesse. I got to go through it here.
Dane Ellensburg here, a 10th grader, state qualifier last year for the Moorhead Spuds. You saw him come out last match and wrestle a great match, get bonus points for his team.
We got Bo Bush for the Yellow Jackets. Bush, an 8th grader, 4-14. So on paper, you'd have to say Ellensburg is definitely a favorite in this one, as I'm trying to find all of my sponsor sheets here.
So far, Bo Bush in kind of a front headlock position here. Doing a good job here. Like to see him move a little bit more, keep moving to try to score here.
107-pound match was brought to you commercial free by Waterfront Recreational and Frontier Airlines. And the pin to win for the win was brought to you by Reuter Family Dentistry. We're now at 114 pounds. Ellensburg Bush. Ellensburg gets the initial takedown for 2, and some of the same things that we saw, Jesse, as we worked through the first match with Moorhead and Willmar is happening again in this one.
For sure, you can see Ellensburg going right to work on top, burying a deep wrist half here. Bush doing what he can. That's a pretty tight hold there.
This match is brought to you commercial free by Central Market and Great Clips. And looking for another Reuter Family Dentistry pin for the win is Ellensburg. And there it is. A fall in the first period with 25.5 seconds remaining. So back-to-back pins for the Spuds. Eerily familiar to what happened with them and Willmar. So Yellow Jackets have to stem the tide here coming up soon. I don't think you wanted, it's okay to dig a hole and it's not that deep. Peyton Trout on the mat for the Yellow Jackets. Trout is a 7th grader, 7-16 on the year. Going against Michael Jenkins. Michael Jenkins was also a state qualifier last year, 11th grader, 30-14 on the year. So again, I don't think the Yellow Jackets are favored in this one as well. You just want to limit those bonus points, as Jason Groth would always tell us, but boy, they're going right at it, the Spuds.
Yeah, Jenkins again, just aggressive on top. He's going right into that cross-face cradle. I think he's got it hooked. Perhaps Trout trying to fight hands underneath. But again, we have a junior here going up against one of Perham's young 7th graders.
He hooked up that cradle. It's tight. Again, pulling him back. It's hard to see here, but there's the fall. I was going to say I don't know if he's going to put him in that situation. but back-to-back falls, none of them out of the first period, Jesse. Has the Yellow Jackets reeling just a little bit, and now we're going to go to 127. That 121-pound match was brought to you by New Horizons Realty and Dakota Fins and Feathers, and the pin was brought to you by Reuter Family Dentistry.
Again, I look for this to be a pretty good match. I'd like to see Ike come out and, get some of his offense going. But as we saw earlier, this Moorhead wrestler is pretty tough.
Interesting move, though, Jesse. This is Bullroot, and he did a good job. Mongu coming up was the 29-7, so they're doing a little flipping around here. Don't know what the Yellow Jackets will do, if Wacker will come out or if it'll be Chandler Mickelson. So things are going to be shaken up here. Not to say, but you would almost think maybe favored Ike Adams in this one. But that being said, I should listen to you more often. This 127-pound match is being brought to you commercial-free by the Perham Chamber of Commerce and Budget Blinds.
And I'll tell you what, these lightweights for the Moorhead Spuds really get to work on top. They get their takedown, and there is no hesitation. They get right into what they want to do, and they are getting after it.
It's such a heavy ride, Jesse. They just don't give you much chance, as we got a stalemate called on this. At this point, Bullroot is a 9th grader, 12-10 on the season. Again, for the Yellow Jackets, we have Ike Adams. Ike Adams is 13-13, a 9th grader, was a state entrant, and gets the reversal right there to even this up with 1 minute to go in the first period.
That's definitely the difference so far. Last match, we didn't see Ike explode off that bottom. Good things happen when you keep fighting off the bottom. Ike putting on a heavy ride of his own here. You can see he's staying up on his toes, putting all his pressure on the bottom man, trying to wear him out here in the last 30 seconds of the period.
.30 seconds remain on the United Community Bank scoreboard. We'd like to thank, here we got a little action and nice belly out there by Bullroot to stay out of harm's way. Lakes Area Co-op, Waterfront Recreational, J&L Nutrition, The Backyard, EOT Insurance, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Perham Area Chamber, Nias Family Sales and Service. As the wrestlers go out of bounds, they're going to go to the middle. Perham Health, United Community Bank, River's Edge Cabinetry, Interiors by Winkles, Joe Foltz Construction, Reuter Family Dentistry, Ray's Sport and Marine, KLN Family Brands, Lakes Ace Hardware, Budget Blinds, New Horizons Realty, Central Market, Frontier Airlines, Dakota Fins and Feathers, and Great Clips for bringing this ad-free. We don't have to break away, which is awesome because you never know what you're going to miss, especially the way this wrestling's been going tonight.
For sure. Close to a reversal attempt there with under 10 seconds. Ike doing a good job knowing where he's at, going off the mat. He's got to finish the period on top here.
3 seconds remaining, and boy, trying for the escape there was Bullroot, and nice work for him, but Ike stays behind him. Not long enough to go. We're going to go Bullroot in the down position. And I think one of the healthiest things, Jesse, that I've seen is we're still wrestling JV matches as well. Usually that is long done and gone. And it's not like these have been fast triangulars, fast matches in this. We're still wrestling out there, and that's a great sight.
It's awesome to see, especially, you can see Perm wrestlers, varsity guys looking over and supporting their young guys looking over and just envisioning themselves here in the next couple years being on the big mat.
Want to throw out a thank you to both coaching staffs here tonight. I sent out a quick email and I had stats and all of the things that make this such a more enjoyable for you listeners at home. So thank you to both coaching staffs for doing that little bit of extra to bring this sport to where it should be, and we just appreciate both coaching staffs tonight.
Ike putting on another heavy ride here. A minute into the period, and he's had Bullroot flat on the mat the majority. I think the ref's going to make him work side to side here shortly because he's kind of got those legs tied up. He may get dinged for stalling himself. Here we got a hard crossface attempt here. We'll see if he can get enough to get a couple swipes.
A lot of times you'll hear from the stands that's a parallel ride. That's what you were talking about, Jesse, is you gotta release one hip and give your opponent at least a chance, but Ike does a nice job with that crossface, kind of eliminating that by putting an offensive move in. 30 seconds remain here on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Again, 2-2. There's a stall. And the stall is on.
It's on Ike.
On Ike, and again, you had called that, so nice work, Jesse. And again, you might go, well, there's only 20 seconds left in the second period, but you never want to lose in a stall in a close match, and you put yourself in harm's way because now you have to get quick returns. You have to do things a little bit more abruptly so you don't want to get that next stall warning.
For sure, and what that does is creates this opportunity for a fresh start. With 15 seconds, Ike doing a good job stopping that first move. Under 5 here, getting to the end of the period.
So 2-2, we're going to go, and I guess it will be Ike's choice. He says down right away. Again, feeling like that 1 point. Again, you don't want that stall to become the factor, so keep moving.
Looking at the first period, when Ike gets that escape, he's got to be ready. This Borrud's got a quick shot just to prevent a escape takedown opportunity here.
And we've noticed that on the Moorhead squad in general, that they like to reshoot right out of an escape. So again, get the head-hands defense ready to go and don't let them get to your legs.
Ike's got to keep working up here, keep working up. He's doing good in his tripod. Now he's got to get up to his feet a little bit, start working those hands. There we go. We got to stay on the mat. There we go.
Escape
Hips
Adams.
Up. And this is what I'm talking about. You got to weather the storm here because you don't want a quick shot's coming.
1:20 remaining. Nice shot here. Ike's kind of weathering and off the mat he goes, and you got to be careful there. If it's considered backing off the mat, that's going to tie this thing up, and you called it. Be ready for this shot. 1:12 going. Borrud doing a really nice job staying on the offense, and there's a great way to counter that is get in on the legs by yourself.
Here we're in an interesting whizzer position. Definitely got to keep wrestling here. 2-point takedown for Borrud.
He takes a 4-3 lead, 50 seconds remaining on your United Community Bank scoreboard. Again, not that Ike's going to stall, but you got to be careful when you're on the mat. Again, it seems like the officials kind of let that parallel ride go. Instead of calling a stall, they call a stalemate. So first move, Jesse? I don't.
Got to get to our feet. Got to get to your feet. If nothing else, you got to stay on your feet to either get a stall call on him and put the pressure on him to release you. We got to get to this position. We got to get our one. Under 30 seconds here. Ike's got to work to his hands.
I'm really surprised that Iowa hasn't come in here, stretch him out a little bit. He's kind of more in that spiral ride type look, but doing a good job. 15 seconds remaining, and Ike's working hard, but a lot of pressure being put on those shoulders right now, and it could almost be a stall itself as they go out of bounds. So 7 seconds remaining, 4-3, we're setting this up for you. Ike has to get out. Here comes the time for your best move.
You know, a spiral ride's coming from the top position. We used to work that changeover on the bottom. When a guy hits a spiral ride, flip your hips over, follow him up. You got to make something happen. Under 3 seconds
and he
here.
Can take the stall call. He doesn't have one as he pushes him out. And he holds on for the victory, and that's a big one, I think, for Moorhead right there.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, Ike worked hard to get that escape and put that ride on him in the second period, but Borrud knew that he could get it done at the end.
We go to 133. It's going to be interesting to see what the Yellow Jackets do here. There's a couple options, Wacker and Mickelson. I think you got to stop the bleeding right here. And Mickelson does come out for the Yellow Jackets, as now I've misplaced my other sheet, Jesse. It's getting to be a long night here.
I believe this is Dalton Humanick.
And
if I remember right.
And he looked good early, but you're talking about one tough hombre here in Chandler Mickelson.
For sure, Chandler definitely, wrestled a tough kid in one of the Carlson boys first round. Wants to come out and make a statement here, get his team on the board.
Again, we missed the Moorhead wrestler. We're believing it's Dalton Hemenick. If so, 9th grader, 20 and 10.
Nice job with the roll through there by Chandler. Cradle hooked up. He's got to settle in here.
Again, nice job by both wrestlers there. The 2-point near fall on the swipes, under a minute remaining in the first. Mickelson going back at it. Maybe getting a little high. We're in a reversal type situation here.
Yeah, nice little roll by Humenick. Definitely, got Chandler on his hip and worked to get the reversal.
Chandler Mickelson, a senior, 21 and 5 on the season. Dalton Humenick, a 9th grader, 20 and 10, but we saw what he could bring to the table in his last matches. He was a one tough customer for a freshman. This 133-pound match is being brought to you commercial free by Lakes Area Co-op and Lakes Ace Hardware in downtown Perham.
Humenick got a little loose with his mat return there, which gave Chandler a little space to come to his feet. But as we saw last match, this Humenick is extremely strong for being a 9th grader.
And he's going to ride out this period as that's the final seconds. Head into the second period. Chandler Mickelson up 4-2. Chandler takes the down position. Might have just been me, Jesse, but something to watch where he looked like he kind of limped back to the middle a little bit. And it could be just one of those where you get your leg caught a little bit weird, but here's a reversal by Mickelson. So he says, I'm just fine.
I think a big thing for Chandler here is just trust your technique. This is a wrestler from Moorhead who's kind of a high flyer, rolling around, trying to get the big move. Trust your technique. Stick to what you're doing. You're probably going to catch him, during one of his crazy attempts at something.
Right, and it's so interesting now this is the chess game happening right now. Mickelson bumped up. We have some illness in the lineup, a little bit of injury. He bumped up to 139, now down to 33. So does that domino affect what the Yellow Jackets do? Are we going to see Detloff back to 39, or is he going to 45? Well, there's just so many pieces that come into play, and it's fun to watch this unfold right here in the Hive with a minute remaining. Chandler with a nice cradle again.
I don't know if he's got a crossface there. Definitely a tighter cradle than he had before. Got his 5 count, I believe. Once that lock breaks.
9-2 now, 35 seconds remaining here on the United Community Bank scoreboard. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors for bringing this commercial free tonight, and we sure do appreciate it. Again, if you can patronize them, that would be awesome. It's great to have all of these people in place, including Great Clips. Download the Great Clips apps from the App Store and find a location nearest you today. Frontier Airlines, Dakota Fins and Feathers, Budget Blinds brought us our pregame shows. Lakes Area Hardware with our continual starting lineup or our transitional lineup as we're heading in to the end of the period. Chandler trying to get some points right at the end. Roll through by Hemenick. Stops that. United Community Bank has brought us our scoreboard. Reuter Family Dentistry has brought us our pin for the win. Jan-L Nutrition Backyard. We'll be talking about the wrestler of the match at the EOT Insurance postgame report. Grab a quote today by visiting eotinsurance.com, and we'd like to thank Perham Health and Colton Lehman for taking care, and Coach John McEachran for taking care of those blood timeouts.
Headlock attempt there by Humenick. You saw Chandler definitely knowing it was coming, kind of backed out of it and ended up with a nice little go behind. I'd like to see him go to a crossface here. Sometimes these stronger, blockier wrestlers, you get to a hard crossface, you can run a butcher, and they're not as flexible to fight it off. Minute 15 left here in the third period. Chandler sitting on an 11-2 lead. He's got a major decision. We'll see how hard he works for a tech fall.
Under a minute to go here in period number 3, 11-2, 21-0 on the scoreboard in favor of the Moorhead Spuds. And surprising a little bit, not surprising after we watched them wrestle Willmar and what they brought to the table. Again, we always talk about where does your stopper come from, and Chandler Mickelson's serving that role right now, has the major locked in. Would love to see a few more bonus points if you're the Yellow Jackets. I know that's not good to be greedy. Under 25 seconds remaining as he's got the armbar in.
See if he can spin him back into the match here, onto the mat here.
Again, they go off the mat. 16.8 seconds remaining on your United Community Bank scoreboard. 11-2 again in favor of Mickelson. Has the major locked up right now. And let's see if he can get a little roll in here or something to gain some more. But time is drawing near. Strength out of Moorhead tonight, Jesse, as an apparent thing is we would have seen Mickelson take over a lot on those arm bars. Did not happen. So, but a nice win there and a good stop there for Mickelson makes the United Community Bank scoreboard 21-4 in favor of the Spuds.
Yeah, we'll see if the Yellow Jackets can go on a little run here of their own. I do see Johnny Ramos over there warming up. He was one we did not see. There he is. Takedown by Johnny. One escape for Moorhead.
Again, it's good to see Johnny out there. It's been a little bit, a little while for him to wrestle. Didn't wrestle this weekend. First time tonight.
Johnny with another takedown there. Right into a tilt here. A lot of same tilt we've seen a lot of out of these Willmar and Moorhead wrestlers tonight. Kind of a ball and chain. He's looking to sit back, kind of pull him into his hips. He's got to keep his hips tight here. Now he should get a count. I think he got a 2 count there. 2 back points. Right into a big cradle. There's the fall for Johnny.
Nice job by Ramos. Back-to-back wins for the Yellow Jackets. Came in the first period. Again, the Yellow Jackets trying to make a little run here. I'm guessing Detloff's going to come out and he does come out for the Yellow Jackets, and this is kind of a good sign for the Yellow Jackets. Some of these younger kids now becoming the stoppers, and nice job by Ramos coming out. That match was brought to you by Hanson's Plumbing and Heating and United Community Bank. Bridger Mongo on the mat for the Moorhead Spuds. He is a senior, 18 and 15, a captain against Tegan Detloff. Detloff a 9th grader, but don't be fooled, 32 and 8, and has wrestled about every style of competition you can do. He's looking for that early 2-point takedown, and there it is.
Yeah, nice adjustment from Detloff compared to his first match today. He got to his kind of bread and butter, ran to that single leg, got to where he could elevate that leg and work to a finish.
That last fall by Ramos is a Reuter pin for the win for the Yellow Jackets. This 145-pound match is brought to you by Joe Foltz Construction and Reuter Family Dentistry, as there's an escape by Mongo.
Again, shot from space from Detloff here. Again, his length is just something else.
Mongo doing a nice job of kind of holding suit, though, and putting a lot of pressure on the back of Detloff. But he had that ankle trap. He just kind of ran out of real estate. I think if he could have sucked that in, would have been a nice probably takedown there for Detloff. But as it is, back to the middle of this brand new mat, just displayed by the Yellow Jackets tonight, looking sharp under there. And speaking of looking sharp, great shot there by Detloff, but here's a little ankle pass going.
Yeah, a little scramble here. You know, they talk about whoever's head is higher usually has the advantage, so potentially dangerous there. A lot of limbs tied up. Good move by the official to clean that up.
I used to, you think nice shot again by Detloff in. Mongo's one long wrestler too, so kind of a different probably for a nice job by Detloff, just holding his own, and again those points scored in the last seconds as there's the end of the period, and he takes a 4-1 advantage into the second period, and he goes down, I believe. He chooses down. So down position for Detloff. Again, scoreboard 21-10. We've got a caution. Caution here as we get rolling. Again, I almost thought it was another caution, and I could see the official going, ooh, maybe I missed that one as well. But a nice job there, Detloff. Again, you're going to have to get a mat return pretty soon, and there it is. Otherwise, that stall would come into play. We're in the second period as both wrestlers go off the mat. Again, we have Mongo Detloff here in the second period with 1:43 remaining.
I really like that Detloff's making an attempt to get up to his feet, making sure that, who's this one on?
Caution green again. Again, it's like super close and, dangerous position there. Good job, Detloff. Now he's in that.
Here we go again with the ankle scramble.
Wrapping up like pretzels, and the last few times it's ended up to be a stalemate, but this is a little bit.
See, as long as they're still working here and nothing's twisted the way it shouldn't be, they're going to let this go. There's a reversal for Teagan.
A nice job of Detloff to do just what you said there, Jesse, as he did a great job of keeping moving, but there's the escape. So 6-2, 1 minute remaining, second period. Detloff, Mongo, Detloff with the lead right now.
Again, keep firing those takedowns.
Nice.
Nicely done. He's got to recover that other leg, and he should have a takedown. Now he's going to work for more here. Got one swipe on the edge there. Good job by Teagan staying aggressive.
I like how he just dropped down on that, Jesse, and he ended up on the ankle and got to a single leg and then just took care of business. So nice knowledge of what he's doing on the mat, Detloff, and it's kind of been something we've just come to appreciate, and we've just assumed that he's going to do it. So for a freshman, he is a very veteran freshman.
Yep, he's put a lot of hours on the mat, and he's definitely got a deep arsenal of takedowns and wrestling knowledge. There he is again, right back into it, not wasting any time. But here we go.
I wouldn't expect anything less than to see everybody wrapped up here. Stalemate again, 8.7 seconds on your United Community Bank scoreboard. A little update, 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. The Yellow Jacket boys are in Bemidji. They are down 62-51 with just under 5 minutes to play.
Into the third period, Detloff with an 8-3 lead. Looking to Coach Vetch for a few instructions. I'm sure we're going to work. If I know Teagan, he's going to work for any extra bonus points he can. Here he's got to fend off that single leg.
And the Spud coaches are saying bring him back, and that was an interesting turn of events there.
That's definitely a little bit of a risky escape, because if he holds on to that ankle, then you look kind of foolish, but he let go of it. So
again, 8-4, 1 minute and 20 seconds. A deep shot here for Mongo. Let's see if he can get around, and these guys have been all wrapped up all night long here, Jesse. And
Teagan in a pretty good spot here. It looks like he's got both legs corralled. He's just got to pop his head to one side or the other, and he might stalemate again.
Again, that's multiple stalemates here. In the other action by the Yellow Jackets, the Perham Lady Jackets are in Breckenridge tonight, and 14 minutes left in that game. Perham's up 38-27, so lots of good action for the Yellow Jackets here tonight, including these wrestlers on the mat.
Teagan in on another great shot. Dumped him right away. He's awarded the takedown.
Again, now Detloff, 30 seconds remain, looking for some bonus points, and I'm not going to say, nobody's ever going to say they don't need bonus points. So 20 seconds remain. Detloff working hard. Mongo also working hard, trying to grab.
Ooh.
When he reached back and tried to grab, I think Detloff saw his opportunity there, but opportunity didn't happen, and here we go, 5.
Ooh,
4,
stacked him up.
He's
3,
gonna pin him. 2, 1. There it is, the end. He is going to get 2.
Wow.
And get that major decision, which is that one bonus point that might be the difference in the game. And I'm going to circle that one, Jesse, as that, if that comes back to put the Yellow Jackets in a favorable position, we are going to remember that one by Teagan Detloff.
Well, it's just a will to never give up. I mean, you very easily could have stayed on top in the last 10 seconds there, but he knew his team needed an extra point, and he went for it. Almost had the fall.
Now on the mat for the Yellow Jackets is Carson Beyer. Beyer is a senior, 24-11 on the season. He's taken on Josh Beach. Josh Beach is a 9th grader, 1-20 on the season. So you got to think advantage Beyer here, and we'll probably have a little celebration in the works if that is the case. But we will not get ahead of ourselves because it is the sport of wrestling.
Oh, boy. Beyer with a nice throw, kind of an over position. Just kind of said, I'm stronger than you. Not a whole lot of technique involved. But definitely working, getting some back points here. See if he can adjust for the fall.
Again, Beach fending it off, but then Beyer slips into that arm bar and then just pulls it back into himself.
Holding 3 more for that little tilt. He's going to crawl up on top here and cinch it in. This is going to be pretty tight.
Boy, you got to give Beach credit, though. He is fighting hard and somehow bellies out of that, which is...
Here Beyer goes into his 4th pinhold of the match.
And there's the fall. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Congratulations, Carson. That's a 75th win. That's an awesome feat for any wrestler. Couldn't have think of a better guy to deserve some recognition tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to Beyer. He has a big smile on his face and a lot of years of wrestling in the books to get to that point.
Open.
So Cook gets the open victory, which now puts the Perham Yellow Jackets up 26-21, and we kind of saw this happen a little bit in the middle for Moorhead, and now they got to battle back through here.
Now, after what we've seen, you can see already, but this is a match that's going to be kind of wild because both of these wrestlers are extremely explosive, and they like to lock up and see what happens. So hold on to your hat, folks. This could be a good one.
Ron Otto on the mat for the Spuds, a senior, 11 and 12, a captain. Tristan Larson, a 10th grader, 12 and 16 on the season. Larson with the initial takedown.
Potentially dangerous on that armbar. Wrist was twisted kind of weird. The refs do a good job of taking a look at that because if they call it kind of a chicken wing position, that can put a lot of pressure on places that it shouldn't. Better job there by Tristan, returning his opponent to the mat, a little more cautiously than he did before. But here they go, escape for.
And now hold on.
Yes.
And you can sense the hush over the crowd right now, waiting for something to happen.
Everybody knows something's going to happen. It's just when. There's a big throw attempt by Larson, kind of a cow catcher. He's got to settle in because this Otto is definitely kind of a firecracker. He hopped off his back in the last match, and actually, there's the fall for Larson. Oh, boy. Good throw by Tristan Larson, keeping it going for the Jackets.
And it's amazing when we talked about matchups, Jesse. We talked about the first matchup. Willmar came in, kind of had their way with the Yellow Jackets. Moorhead came out and beat Willmar, and I'm thinking, And now here's the Jackets kind of turning tide.
Another open weight for Moorhead. You wonder if it's something to do with injury, something to do with
match count
stuff. It's just hard to know.
This is Genesis Kamara for the Spuds at 2:15, so this has taken quite a turn here in the last few matches, Jesse, as we're going to be done earlier than we thought we were going to be. 38-21 in favor of the Yellow Jackets right now. Kamara is a 10th grader, 12 and 15 on the season. Wrestling Hudson Hackle, a senior, 22 and 9 on the season. And again, this I think would favor the Yellow Jackets. I don't know if the Spuds looked ahead. I'm not sure what happened, but again, one of those things that maybe you're looking at, like we said, there's multiple things: injury, sickness, match count, you name it. It could be one of those type of things. But again, it kind of took a little luster off this last one. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a real shootout towards the end here, just knowing what the Spuds had and what they did against Willmar. So again, hats off to the Yellow Jackets. They're doing what they need to right now. And again, I would think their favorite in this one is Hackle gets the takedown.
Yeah, this Kamara had an interesting style on his feet before. I know the wrestler from Willmar, spent a little bit of time to try to figure it out. Good job by Hudson on top here, stopping that first move. Look for Hudson to get a turn here. See, he's digging for an arm bar right away.
Again, some strong kids for the Spuds. This is a sophomore. Again, doing a nice job trying to get out here. You can tell Hudson does a nice job, gets back up onto the deep waist type ride. Two
2-0 lead for Hackle headed into the second period.
Again, on your United Community Bank scoreboard, 38-21. Favor of the Yellow Jackets, and this turned fast. Hackle's going to take the down position. It just was a turnabout that I wasn't really seeing, but again, a couple open weights is 12 points, and there's the escape by Hackle makes it 3-0.
See if Hudson can get to one of his attacks early here.
Again, we'll come back after a little break after 2:85. We'll come into our EOT postgame show. Hackle elevates. Nice job to his back.
See if he can get his back points before they go off the mat here.
Right in a sliding type spot. Hackle's trying to kind of control it by grabbing that leg and does a nice job, and really nice job. And there's the fall by Hackle. Makes it 44-21 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Heading into our final match of the night at 2:85. Cash Burke going to come out for the Yellow Jackets.
At 285 pounds for Moorhead, Jake Erdman, and Cash Burke.
And Jake Erdman coming out for the Spuds. Erdman, a 12th grader, senior this year, 14-5, a state 15-5 now, a state qualifier, captain for this Spuds team against Cash Burke, a junior, 10-9 on the season this year. And again, this is a big fella for the Spuds.
For sure, and you know as well as I do, Cash is going to give a valiant effort out here, whether he's favored or not. He's going to go out there and battle and try to make himself better.
Inside joke, but I'm just wondering if he got his coffee this morning.
That's a good question. Ooh!
Little elevator action going there.
Nice attempt by Cash. He's going to make Erdman at least think about it here.
And at this point, what a good, it's a time to try anything right now and see what you got, and hopefully something sticks. And again, Erdman has to be the favorite here, but like you said, don't count out one Cash Burke as he doesn't. He's one of those hombres that won't back down.
Absolutely. Here we're locked up again. Cash has got to keep working his hips a little bit. Erdman just kind of too big, too strong.
Just that moment. Size.
Yep. Cash, I know, weighs under the 215-pound weight class, so he could go either weight.
Again, this is there's the fall by Erdman, which is going to bring your final score on your United Community Bank scoreboard. 44 for the Yellow Jackets, 27 for the Moorhead Spuds. In a great night, and we're going to invite you to come back here after a few messages from our sponsors. We'll do the EOT Insurance recap of kind of the entire night. We'll talk about what's coming up here in Yellow Jacket land here, and we'll also name our EOT wrestler of the match. So again, Yellow Jackets split on the evening, 1-1, losing to Willmar earlier in tonight. Coming back here to defeat the Moorhead Spuds. We'll be back here shortly. Come back and find out who is our J&L Nutrition backyard wrestler of the match.
Make memories that they'll remember and pass down a tradition. Enjoy your freedom with the road less traveled and spend time with the ones you love. Whether it's here or there, make the most out of life and spend time with who you choose. And choose Quillo from United Community Bank. Whatever life has in store for you, finance it with Quillo. Learn more at ucbankmn.com. United Community Bank, Perham, Frazee, Dent. Subject to credit approval. Auto payment required. United Community Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Welcome to Perham, Minnesota, a great place to visit and an even better place to live. Here's a look at just a few of the things you can experience here.
To learn more and plan your next getaway, visit Perham.com.
Hansen's Plumbing and Heating provides the highest quality products and services to ensure the comfort and safety of all their customers. It's what they do. Henry Hansen, later known as Hardware Hank, first opened the family hardware store in the early 1930s in Burgess, Minnesota. Today, they are proud to carry on his legacy of hard work and honesty through teamwork, fellowship, cutting-edge technology, and forward thinking. 218-346-2422 or make a visit in Perham, Burgess, or Detroit Lakes today. Hansen's Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Minnesota families for over 80 years.
Say hello to Taylor Doll at the Backyard. Taylor keeps the store filled with your pet's favorite pet food, pet treats, and pet toys. Hard to find items like retractable dog leashes and pet supplements. The Backyard also carries everything you need for your livestock and poultry operations. Are you a bird watcher? The Backyard has one of the best selections of bird seed, suets, and feeders in the area. And finally, don't forget to book a spa day for your dog with one of our professional dog groomers. 218-346-7487.
At Waterfront Recreational LLC, the mission is to deliver high-quality and custom-built steps, decks, and docks so you can access and enjoy your property. We believe in hard work, honest and fair dealing, high-quality craftsmanship, and excellent customer service. Our products have proven results. We can't control the weather, but our docks remain rock solid in the windiest of conditions. We also offer boat storage in the wintertime. Call or text 218-298-1353 for more information about each of our services, or visit waterfrontrecreational.com today.
Welcome back into the Hive for our EOT post-game show. Grab a quote today by visiting EOTinsurance.com. And again, one of those really weird nights, Jesse, where we talk about matchups all the time. It couldn't have unfolded any different than what I thought might have happened, and that's where I guess you just don't make assumptions and you don't predict what's going to happen, because you just don't know when it comes to matchup or injury or whatever may have it. But the Yellow Jackets started the night falling to Willmar by a score of 39-22 in one where Willmar really took control. Willmar comes back out on the mat, and Moorhead gets an early lead and then comes back at the end to pick up a victory over Willmar. And then I thought, well, boy, this Moorhead, it's going to be really tough for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets come out with a couple of open weights from the Spuds and win 44-27. So you take those two open weights out of there. That changes drastically what the score might have looked like, and I'm not sure the reason. We could guess up and down the books, Jesse, but either way, the Yellow Jackets come out with a nice victory in the nightcap here.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with it. That matchups are everything. Obviously, we can speculate till we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, the Jackets definitely wrestled better in the second match than they did the first match, I would say. Two quality teams. I'll be curious to be checking the results of AAA at the end of the year to see how those teams end up.
Right, and two good programs. They came out and wrestled hard, and again, it's one of those things you never know, illness, sickness, injury, match count. There's multiple reasons why things stack up differently than what they did. So with that, the Moorhead Spuds go 1-1 in the evening. That runs their record to 11-11. Everybody split. And so it was one of those, I guess, if you're going to draw out a triangular, you're going, wow, this is the way this thing should draw out. The Yellow Jackets, they go 1-1, so they run their record to 12-9. They have another one that got postponed. They're going to go to Frazee on Thursday. That's going to be a heck of a duel. That place is going to be packed. It's part of a triangular, but they're not going to wrestle all the teams. DL's going to wrestle Frazee first from what I heard, and then the Yellow Jackets are going to wrestle after that, and there's no better rivalry in the sport of wrestling than the Hornets and the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that rivalry goes back to, all the way back to before I was even old enough to know what wrestling was, but that gym is a place where I'm sure you love it if you're from Frazee, and if you're not from Frazee, it's not an easy place to go in and get a victory, but it's part of it. It's the part that makes high school sports special and should be a good duel.
I got so carried away by that elevator action by Cash Burke at the end. I forgot to thank KLN for sponsoring that 285-pound match. So couple things we can wrap up here, Jesse, and then we'll probably thank our sponsors and we'll wrap up ourselves and get on the roll. The Yellow Jacket boys, I don't want to play spoiler alert, so if you don't want to hear the scores and you're going and you want to watch that next, just tune me out for just a second. The Yellow Jacket boys fall to Bemidji 78-68, and the Yellow Jacket girls are up 59-39 with 6 minutes to go in Breckenridge. So again, a good successful night for the Yellow Jackets. Most likely we'll be back on the air coming up here on Thursday. We have Barnesville Perham boys basketball live from the Hive as well, and we've got a lot of things to go, a lot of things happening in Yellow Jacketville right now. I know tomorrow's signing day. There's things happening. That'll probably be more to come. Check out the Perham Schools website and find out all those good things that are happening for the Yellow Jackets. What a great night. You fill the stands. You've got JV wrestling. You've got all kinds of good things going on, Jesse. And I want to thank you, too, for stepping in and battling the cold and giving us what you had, because it's a lot better broadcast with you here. Before we go, we have to honor at least one wrestler with the JNL Nutrition Backyard Wrestler of the Match here on the EOT postgame show. I'll let you start, and then I'll finish.
All right, I'm going to give Wrestler of the Match tonight to Tegan Detloff. He started from the first blow of the whistle, getting after it, being offensive. Ended up getting a big set of near fall points at the end of the third period to get his team an extra bonus point. Kind of got that ball rolling and kept that ball rolling for the Yellow Jackets as they went on a nice little tear. So congrats, Tegan. Again, only a freshman, but wise beyond his years from all the mat time he spent over the years, and he deserves it.
Right, and I'll follow up. I'm going to go with Carson Beyer. And fitting here, last regular season, home event, 75th win. Carson has been one of those guys that, Jesse, from the football field to being in school to working on the farm to being on the wrestling mat, he's a kid who gives it his all. And, man, he's one of those kids you just want to cheer for. And he brought it tonight and had a tough bout in the first and back that came right back out just in Carson Beyer fashion, and just came out and picked up his 75th win.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. He's a kid who a few years ago you may have thought, I'm not sure if he'll be the leader of this team, but now it's without a doubt he is one of the leaders of every sports team he's been on this year. I know in the fall and football season he was kind of the glue for us out there, and just carried right over to wrestling season, and again, couldn't be happier for him.
Again, that's Jesse Hine. I'm Lance Rock. We've been honored to bring you Yellow Jacket Moorhead Spud and Willmar Cardinal Wrestling tonight. Thank you for those of you who have stuck with us through the whole evening. It's been our pleasure. We wish you nothing but the best in the evening, and come back and join us on Magnitude Sports Network.
Broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.